While we enjoyed our first trip as newlyweds, Lila got expecting, and nearly right away, her nature started to shift. She used to be relaxed, peaceful, and thoughtful, but now, speaking even a word she didn't like felt scary. She'd turned into a fierce serpent lady, always irritated or unhappy. I knew that body changes during pregnancy could be strong for ladies, but if I'd guessed it'd be this wild, I might have paused to rethink starting this journey. Even so, I had no real option. So I tried to bear it, taking her as she was turning into. Of course, we began quarreling more often than we did in those early happy days, but I wished it'd be short-lived and soon fade. When our son arrived, I discovered a fresh reason to live and felt so thrilled we had a little guy. Lila and I cherished him greatly and gave him all our affection. Somewhere inside, I dreamed that with time, Lila would turn back into the lady I once loved, but that never came true. The everyday struggle wiped away all our old joys, leaving just shared complaints and restlessness. Lila became doubtful and envious of me over almost everything, even though I never offered her a cause. It annoyed me, and these disputes became more common. By the time our boy grew up and began first grade, Lila and I were passing more hours alone together at home, but there was no more fire or true bond between us. Our close moments seemed ordinary and boring, and in time, I ended up straying. It was a fast and heartless deed, and oddly, it left me feeling empty except for a nasty hint of shame. I didn't bother to conceal it, and when Lila learned the truth, I could spot the hurt in her gaze, but truthfully, I didn't feel able or eager to fix it. I strayed a few more times later, this time with moments that stuck around longer. Lila stayed silent toward me for ages, battling to grasp why I'd act this way. I proposed we split up, but she said no, claiming it'd be too big a jolt for our son. That's when it hit me that I hadn't considered him at all when I first strayed, but it was too late to undo it. Afterward, I thought hard about what I'd done and saw I'd err by picking that road. I did all I could to help Lila let go, to win back her faith. Then, 9 months after, she strayed on me. No, she didn't end up expecting, but she deceived me right when I'd made peace with our history and began to believe we could restore something. And now, Lila was insisting on a quick split. I longed to wound both her and her partner, yearned to yell and strike out, but I couldn't rewind the clock. I realized it was my own doing, though I hated to own it. We parted without any drawn-out court battles. There wasn't much to split up, and no puzzles remained to solve. After the split, we went on with our days and only met when we had to, purely for our boy's well-being. Definitely not by wish.